welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Arch podcast. All right, so today we have two new guests. We have Sophia and we have Bree. Welcome, guys. Welcome. How are you guys doing?
I'm good.
I'm great.
Awesome.
Today, I'm about to graduate. I'm happy.
Yes,
Awesome.
very
There you
happy.
go. Clock that. You hear that? Mm-hmm. All right. So today the episode is the episode of Arch of Leadership. So we're going to be talking about what is leadership and what does it mean to everybody. So the first question of the day is, what is leadership? Who wants to start this off?
You want to go?
I could go. To take control.
Take control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take control for leadership?
Yes, like, how do I explain it? Like,
That's crazy.
leadership, like, you set a responsibility for others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but like when I hear taking control, I'm thinking about like dominance. Like everything I say, you gotta follow.
No,
That's why I'm thinking
no,
tyrant. You know
no.
what I'm saying?
No, I see what you
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
but no, not
Okay,
like
okay.
that.
Okay. So what is leadership to you?
Leadership is someone. Well, not someone. Leadership is a quality that you can't really be born with. I mean, you're only born with it. You can't really make it better. And it's something that you just lead people. It's in the name, leadership.
Okay.
People look for you as a good role model.
Okay. So for me, leadership is a person that knows how to take charge, but also know how to lead other people. And it's being a good role model. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of bad leaders out there. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
So let's just be mindful. And leadership is something that is a trait. You got to have good leadership qualities. Like let's just say, for example, you're the head of dancing. Let's call it what it is, right?
Okay.
You actually lead the younger kids behind you on how to dance.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You lead other people in any sport that you play, which, you did stop softball, but, that's neither here nor there, people. She's about to graduate. Don't judge her.
I got my reasons.
Yes, but again, you was a leader when you was playing softball. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like these are things that you actually do. So that is what a leadership is, I think that's one trait that a lot of people do not have, but they have the potential to actually have it.
Mhm.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I don't think you got potential for that. That's just
Really?
I think it's an innate thing. You can't.
Okay.
Because when you try to teach leadership, it becomes like control, but not the kind of control Brianna was talking about. I'm talking
It's
about
like forced.
because force is like they don't have that natural thing, so they're gonna power trip. Like let's say a lot of teachers, they get this power trip. They get this crazy, especially a principal. Principals aren't really on the floor like that with the teachers, especially APs. So it's a lot of like power trips. I do this, I do that. Meanwhile, you're not even on the floor, and you're just making all these, suggestions and all these changes just because you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with her.
You agree?
Yeah.
But I think that you could actually teach somebody how to be a good leader.
Why?
Only because the fact is, if I see the best potential in you,
Mhm.
and I could teach you how to master your craft,
Okay.
eventually you are going to lead other people into the same craft.
Correct.
So I think leadership is something that can be taught
To certain people.
to certain people. Okay.
Because
Not everybody can pull it off.
Yes.
So what about like a gangbanger?
See, now he's talking some language. All right, here.
Oh.
Now, not everybody's a hitter.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they want to act like they're a hitter. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
you over here cuddled up in the corner crying for mommy. Listen, you cannot be a leader in everything. However, you can train a person on how to be a leader. So, again, when it comes down to certain traits or certain things that they're doing, you could definitely teach a person how to be a leader.
In what aspect? In what regard?
Depending, like for me, I am good at counseling people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Word.
And I could teach another person how to counsel another person. It's up to them if they want to take charge in actually being the lead counselor.
Okay. Yes.
So, again, leadership is something that can be taught, but it's up to the individual whether or not they want to actually lead.
Yeah, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, leadership is very important. Like, I think is teachable. It's just not everybody's able to execute it.
I agree with that completely.
Okay? All right. So, the next question is this. What do you think makes a good leader?
You want to go first?
A little nervous here, huh?
What makes a good leader?
Yeah.
I think what makes a good leader. Oh Lord, we got an audience. What makes a good leader is somebody who you can look up to in a time of need, and you like they don't ever fault with a smile. Like their smile never falls, even if they're not sore loser. Like if they're getting that butt beat, whatever, you still look at them, they're smiling. No matter what. And it's somebody who pushes you to do your best, even when you can't do it anymore. They're still there for you.
Okay. I agree with that. I like that. Okay. What about you? What do you think makes a good leader?
What makes a good leader? I can say, like, what makes a good leader, being a good role model, like knowing what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, then it throws it off completely. Yeah, it's over.
Blind leading the blind.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of people out there that think they can lead, and they're horrible leaders.
Like some captains.
Yeah, I've actually,
Thirsty.
encountered a lot of those things in my career, but also in my life. When it comes down to like friend groups, sometimes there's always a good leader, and then there's always that person that thinks they're leading the friends correctly, and all of a sudden it's like, dude, we're in trouble again because of you.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing?
There's definitely certain dynamics for sure, and I think there's power dynamics when it comes to leadership, like hands down, and there's usually a lot of toxic power dynamics, especially with friends. Like I feel like I think every friend group does have a leader.
Yeah.
But that also can lead to like toxic, friendships. 'Cause that's why a lot of trios don't be working.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Like there's always one person out. There's always one person out the loop.
Yeah. Sometimes it's always good to have an even number of friends instead of an odd number.
Yeah.
Because then it's like shared power. I don't know have you guys ever heard of that term, shared power, before?
Shared power.
Okay.
Yes.
So shared power, just in case for those who's watching, right? Because we do have you guys and making sure that you're in part of this. Please like and subscribe, okay? Thank you very much.
Yes,
we appreciate
please.
you. But shared power is when two individuals are coexisting and nobody is over the other person. So you share the power in the relationship. When it comes down to good leadership, in my opinion, what makes a good leader is shared power. Yes, you are leading us. You are the head of everything. However, you allow us to have some type of autonomy of what we're going to be doing.
Yes.
So, case in point, I'm going to just use an example. Ms. Fonte would do what for you? She would say, okay, I need this type of dance, but you come up with some moves.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's in charge of it, but she's allowing you to have free reign to do what you want to do as far as coming up with different moves.
Both have power.
Exactly.
Like guidance. They give you the guidance and they let you do whatever the hell you want with it.
Exactly. So shared power is very important. And as far as having a good leadership, I think, and sometimes it does happen, let's be honest, leaders do forget where they came from.
Yeah.
And like you said, like both of you said, a person will end up becoming a tyrant, or they just want to be in control of everything. And unfortunately, that doesn't make a good leader. No. In my opinion.
No, not at all.
I think everybody can agree on that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then it makes a person not want to be a part of.
They get too carried away.
Exactly.
Yeah, just look at look at Rome. Just look at Rome.
Exactly.
And you mentioned this. I don't know if y'all watch Sopranos, but you ever watch?
Yeah,
I'm getting very Tony and Johnny Sack vibe. I don't know, like shared power, all that. So I'm at season 6. Sorry,
no, it's fine. And this is the one thing that we have to make sure that when we're teaching, or me personally, when I'm educating other kids or counseling other kids, that I want everybody to understand in all relationships, there has to be a shared power. But yes, there are certain roles that you have to fall into. But a good leader knows how to operate.
Yes.
In both. You get what I'm saying?
I have a question. So what about when it comes to parental dynamics? Do you think is better to have both parents with shared power, or just one with more autonomy over the kid? Because usually what happens is that the father is the one usually who puts the boot down. Mm-hmm. But and it's also because the kid acts up with the mom because they feel more comfortable with that mom. That's true. Why. So do you think that it affects how they raise a kid?
Yes.
Shared power.
Yes.
Why?
Because dynamics is the way. Okay, traditional. Mm-hmm. A traditional family is
nuclear, right?
Exactly, which is the father, mother, then children.
Yes.
Yeah. Always. That's how it's always supposed to be.
Yeah.
Father has the respect of the whole household and is supposed to lead their family. Yes. So it's the same thing. Like, I feel when it comes down to shared power, the shared power is not seen by the children.
You don't think it should be seen at all?
No, it shouldn't. yes, respect your parents no matter what. So if mom says something, the child should have enough respect to listen to what mom is saying. And of course, if they want to keep on acting up, like you mentioned, yeah, when dad comes in, holy crap, hold up, let me put the brakes on what I'm doing.
Wait a minute.
Because I'm not trying to have my behind whooped. But, now let's say if there's a split home, then it's a different dynamics because one parent is not there all the time.
No, yeah.
However, I do believe it should be shared power where it should be a mutual respect. You get what I'm saying? So if mom is the one that's living with the child all the time, yes, you listen to mom. But the rules doesn't change when you go see with dad. You go see dad.
You keep the same
and it
energy
has to be
with
the
both.
same type of leadership happening from both parents. Whatever personal problems they have, they got to put that to the side when it comes to upraising a kid.
Yes.
That's just my opinion. But that we're talking about leadership, that's a proper way or how it should be when it comes down to raising kids, in my opinion, I think shared power is a blessing, and sometimes I don't think it is, depending on how parental should be.
So do you think that can affect the kid, the developmental growth?
Definitely, because sometimes the kid will respect more one parent than the other.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing.
Even in one household, they do that too.
Yeah, even if they're all in one house, and it's like, nah, you shouldn't. You gotta respect both at the same time. But then also parents can't be at odds. Like, you can't split the parent.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Pick sides.
Yeah.
Can't make the kid pick sides.
At all. So you can't come over here and tell me, mom told me I can't have a cookie, but dad said I could.
Yeah, no.
Nah,
I gotta be adamant. If one says no, you gotta
my
follow.
house, that's it. No is no.
Yeah.
No, in my household, that's exactly what's gonna be going down. Like, I'm like, nah. What did your mom say? Oh, she said I can't. Oh, you sure?
Right, so that's what it is.
I'm not gonna override what she said.
Me personally, I know I'm gonna be the head of the household, so whatever I say goes. That's just how it is.
Well, more power to you, I guess.
Because I'm gonna be paying the bills, I'm gonna be paying everything we get out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, so those who want to be her sugar daddy, all right. Nah, I'm just joking.
I'm be a sugar mama. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's gonna be the sugar mama. If you want to be submissive, by all means, have fun. No. No, but yeah, when it comes down to leadership, especially in a household, it's very important. I think when we're talking about leadership, it's very important to have a good leadership in anything they do, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be at home. You need to have proper leadership. Because if not, everything becomes a mess.
Yeah, chaotic. No structure, no guidance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unorganized.
Yeah. And getting back to the question where, what do I think makes a good leader? I think being genuine is very important, because I've had plenty of leaders that say, okay, you know what, this is not working. And they'll come up to me, yes, what do you think about this? What's your ideas? Oh, you're willing to listen to my ideas. Cool. So now you're listening to my ideas, and then are you actually going to implement it? And I've had plenty of leaders that actually have implemented my ideas. And it works. Sometimes it didn't work. It sounded good. We tried it. It didn't work. Hey, listen, I tried. I gave you an idea.
Yeah, you got to do your own thing.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we all need to have. Like, here in school, we have leadership in school. You know what I'm saying? And that's the next question. How can we develop these skills to operate as good leaders here in school?
In this specific school, in general?
In general, in school.
In school. How can we operate? Like, how can we make it better?
Yeah. What can we do to become good leaders?
Brianna, pass you the torch.
In school, taking responsibility.
Nice. I like that. Okay.
Like,
Responsibilities.
yeah.
So what do you mean by that? You said taking responsibilities? Okay. So that's something that we have to do? So when I'm asking we, I'm talking about us as individuals, not just teachers. No, as a person, what is it that we have to do to operate as good leaders in the school? All right, I'm gonna break it down.
Crickets, okay.
I'm gonna break it down even more. Don't worry. We got this.
Yeah, that's kind of a loaded question.
It is, but that's why I said it's individualized. It's not geared to one specific role. So, you as a student, what can you do to operate as a good leader in the school?
You could be a good role model. You know, come to school on time. You know, do all your work. You know, try to help out with after school to, give them a good role model because a lot of them look up to you. Like, I know a lot of middle schoolers, they look up to you, especially you're a senior. I know we used to do that, too. We used to be like, they're so cool. I don't know. That was me. Like, they're so cool. Oh, my God, I want to be them. And now, like, I have middle schools come up to me like, oh, how you been? Where you been? Like, what you doing? Yada, yada. And I've seen them pick up some of my habits, too. And, like, that's scary. That's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not bad habits, but it's still a little like, yo, they're so impressionable. You have to be careful with that. You have to be being mindful. That's
you have to be careful what you do, say, anything.
Yeah, anything, because they think it's cool, and especially this group, they're very wild, very rambunctious.
I agree. They willing to do anything just to fit in.
Yo.
And that's why I'm asking, what is it that we can do? See, like me, as a educator, right, or a counselor. I'm not really an educator, but I'm more of a counselor. Yeah. And I see myself sometimes like I could joke around with kids, but then there's certain things that I cannot joke about.
No, yeah.
Because
boundaries.
then there's some boundaries. If anybody knows me, I always talk about boundaries. Boundaries is the biggest thing.
Talking about that in the office today.
Every session that I have, anything that I talk about, always establish boundaries. But when it comes down to me joking around with certain kids, I can't joke around the same way with everybody.
Yeah.
Because then there's some kids that get a little too loose with themselves, so then then I'll just look at them and respectfully, I'm gonna put them in their place and like
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I used to hate that. That's why
so embarrassing.
That's why I never said it when I was a kid, because
but I try not to. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I gotta remind them like, you forgot that I'm an adult. Hello.
Yeah, when I used to have I used to just stare off into space and just play with my fingers. I used to be so embarrassed. I used to not talk for the whole hour. I'd go home.
I would stay quiet.
No, yeah, but I feel like as one of the staff members here, I feel what we can also do is share power with the students.
Yeah, so I feel like I have an obligation to do that. Because
you know what? I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I don't have an obligation to do it.
Okay.
However, I do feel that if I have shared power with the kids in certain situations, it makes the kids' life a lot easier in school.
So I was going to say. So that's what I was going to say. So why don't you feel like you have an obligation? Because I know, again, my mom's a teacher, so I know that I know you guys do have educators do have a certain obligation to the kids, and that is to make them better and give them, I guess, some. I know some kids come here. This is their escape from home. Mm-hmm. So why do you feel like you don't have an obligation to, I guess, yeah, why don't you just feel like you don't have an obligation?
Because here, it's a catch-22.
Okay.
That's why I said yes and no. I'm not obligated to share my power with you.
Okay.
I choose to share my power with you.
Okay, but
big difference. See, I'm not obligated.
I see what you're trying to say.
It's a power dynamic, though, so it can switch fast, and so it's not really genuine like that because it can switch fast.
Exactly, but here's the thing: I choose to. See what I said? Yeah. As a leader, I feel that is one thing that makes kids' life easier in school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want kids to be like, oh my God, the school system's a prison model. Okay, where people like, oh, you have power over me, you have power over me. This is why we're talking about leadership skills and all these things. I don't want a kid to feel, okay, all I gotta do is everything that he tells me and that's it.
Honestly.
No, I advise you. It's up to you. I'd always put it back in your lap. What are you gonna do with this information? What are you gonna do with this shared power that I'm giving you?
Honestly.
There's some kids that would take advantage.
Yeah.
And then that's when I have to go over there and okay, so I can't share my power with you.
Okay.
I can't because of the fact that now you're over here running around the whole hallway and I gave you a late pass and what happened? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and stuff.
Yeah, if you come to me just to talk to me for 5 minutes, Mr. Diaz, I need to talk to you. Okay, cool, we're talking. But it's not that important. Yet you still trying to stay here for the whole period. And I just told you, I got something to do.
Yeah.
And you're still trying. And I'm just looking at you like, yo, didn't we just have this conversation? And I just told you I cannot.
Yeah, they be trying to stay like 20 minutes extra. I know. I've seen that happen.
They don't be wanting to go to class.
And I'm like, dude, see, this is why I can't. Now when I change my voice and I assert my
dominance.
Well, I don't want to say dominance, but my authority. They're like, oh, Mr. Diaz is not having a good day. No, because you're taking advantage of the shared power that I have with you.
Not having a good day no more.
You know, and I don't like that. Do I want that all the time? No. I like to have fun because I always used to have a teacher like that. That's one of the main reasons why I'm an educator or in this field, you know.
Yeah.
What I specialize is one thing, but coming to the schools, he was one of the main factors of why I came into the schools.
Yeah.
You know, and that man always had the same flow that I have as the flow he had with me.
So would you say that you kind of modeled your skills and you took some stuff from him?
Yeah, definitely.
He inspired you said?
Yeah.
He was a role model?
Yeah. He was good to me. He was actually an old white guy.
Makes sense.
He was a teacher, and he used to do a lot of things, and he would make sure I was good, always. And I went to the school in the hood, so imagine a white guy helping.
It'd be like that though.
It really
Look at
do.
Mr. L.
You get what I'm saying?
Like 64.
And you'd be like, hold up, why is this white guy? And no, I never played a role, nothing like that, you know.
Freedom Riders type stuff.
And he helped out, and he just looked out every single time. And he was like, okay, even to the point where that even when after I graduated, this man would still help me. This man, he was like, okay, you need work, you need something, I got you. It was odd job something, but he was just so that we don't go back to doing messed up stuff.
He cared about y'all. Actually, though, we don't have
some don't really care.
Some majority don't. Like me personally, I know you've probably had at least like a couple teachers who have like you felt like you could talk to. I've never had that person. Like I've always for me, because in my head, my mom's a teacher, so I know how that goes down behind the scenes. You know, I know what they say when they get home. I know they talk. Everyone, I don't care. All teachers talk crap about the students. I don't care if you say you don't. You're a liar. Okay, I don't care. We be hearing you in the lounge. Okay. Anyways, I feel as if with me, I never had a teacher who was like who cared. You know. Like, I try to have a conversation with them or something, and they blow it off.
Like, they don't take it serious.
They don't take it serious, or it's just, we don't have that dynamic. Like, I remember, I'd always see students, like, in, like, elementary, like, they have special relationships with teachers and all that. Like, you know, they get lunch from them, or they be able to hang out in their room or just talk to them about their issues in elementary. And I try that, and it'd just be like, you're fine. You're not, like, a bad kid. Like, that's the thing about, like, if you're a well-behaved kid, they don't really look at you. You get neglected. I feel like if you're a good kid in a like public school, you get neglected because it's like we don't gotta worry about this person. She or he is fine. He's gonna graduate, whatever. Like especially this school, they put all their resources for like the bad kids. Like I feel like you never got time to hang out and actually talk one-on-one with the dean because she's dealing with some BS. You know, and it's with kids who don't even care. You keep, they're not learning. And also back to the leadership thing, because we kind of got off on a tangent. That whole leadership thing, I also feel like you should be more adamant, we mentioned boundaries. You should be way more adamant about the boundaries because, for example, some certain admins in the school, they don't make you take accountability, you know? If not, it's not majority of them. Like, again, a lot of them don't wear uniform. A lot of them come to school late, and their solution is, okay, y'all gonna come late, we're just gonna make the class earlier. Meanwhile, these are seniors. These are 17, 18-year-olds who got stuff to do. And this is their graduating and all that. And I think that you should try to meet them at least halfway with that.
Okay.
You know?
I agree.
You agree?
Completely.
It's tough out here for us, man.
For real.
You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not.
Cold.
The problem that I have, not really, I wouldn't say problem. The issue is just the fact that you guys are, what we just said earlier, the leaders. Unfortunately, the younger kids, the next generations. So it's like being an older sibling. Are both of you older siblings, or?
I ate my brother and sister in the womb.
Oh, nice.
I'm from fraternal triplet. I ate them. I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I'm the youngest, so.
Oh, forget about it. All right.
I would have had more siblings, but I would have been the youngest, but I would have been like the middle.
The middle child?
Yeah, but that's why I'm so big and strong.
Well, I'm happy you're not the middle child, because middle children and little kids.
Yeah, they get beat the hell up.
Oh my God.
They get thrown loose, knocked behind freaking dressers and shit.
I'm the oldest of 4 kids, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, being the oldest is not easy because you have to be the leader of everybody.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks, but it's the same type of principle when it comes down to seniors and especially the lower classmen. You know what I mean? You guys are basically the older siblings, and you have to lead them or be examples. So it kind of does suck that these rules are enforced and all that. However, they are the rules.
They make sense.
Yeah. Wait, they got parents at home. Why we got to be the role models? I understand that it's always gonna be like that.
Because the way they act here, they don't act at home.
Come to us and look to us. I know that. But I'm saying,
so you motivate them. And whether it's a good way or a bad way, you motivate these kids.
But back to the leadership thing, I think that if they had stronger homes, because a lot of these kids come.
Well, we're not going to deviate from what you said.
Damn.
You notice how she tried, right? No. This is spicy now. Yeah. All right, welcome. This is a real podcast, guys. I'm just telling you. We're not going to deviate because, again, listen. You specifically said earlier, we have to be mindful of what we do.
Yeah, we do.
They watch everything that we do. They're very impressionable.
Yes.
So how are you going to be a good leader if you're not going to be doing the right things and setting the standards?
Now let me.
Now, we can't go about home because home is home. We're talking about here in school.
So let me pose you this, though.
Uh-huh.
Duality of man. Now listen. So basically.
So now we're going to throw out some big words. And we can try to still alleviate everything that we just said. But the topic still remains. She is a leader that has to lead examples.
But my point is, though, I don't think that I'll be the best role model. And why should I, like you said earlier, you don't have an obligation. So why should I have an obligation?
Unfortunately, you're looked to.
But you are too.
Exactly. So that's why I shared my power. Notice how I said that.
Okay, but I
have not changed.
I have no power to share, though. I'm not changing my answer. I'm just duality.
No, I'm not saying you're changing your answer, but you do have power to share.
What power?
The example of doing the right thing. That's your power. That is your leadership skill. That is you showing these kids what is expected.
I agree in different circumstances, but not when it comes to middle school. Because these middle schoolers, they be.
No, I agree, but again, just like last episode was compromise, so we could agree to disagree.
Okay, I'll disagree.
And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying you're right. But I am gonna compromise because I do understand what you're saying. I was in your shoes before when being the senior class and being those role models. Like, dude, I don't give a damn about these little kids.
It's important though.
They're
That's
younger than me.
That's
how I used to think. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you guys are doing a lot more than the senior class from last year.
Really?
Yeah, you guys are doing a lot more, but you guys are changing or preparing the next wave of changes for the next kids. So you're making it easier for them. This is the part of leadership that kind of sucks. We make things, we build platforms, we make foundations for the next generation. It's not about us here and there, here and now. And that's why, I guess developing these skills to operate in the school is what you guys are already doing. You may not agree with a lot of things. You guys do disagree a lot. You guys disagree a lot with school admin and teachers, and I get it. But don't think that what your disagreements are just falling on deaf ears, because they're not. And a lot of teachers are like, you know what? It is a new generation. We got to change up how we're doing it. And I see a lot of teachers, not all.
Yeah, not all.
Not all. I'm not a hypocrite. Not all teachers, but there's quite a few teachers that will make adjustments in how to reach the child.
Yeah.
If you're telling them, this is not how I learn.
I don't know, maybe.
I see teachers going above and beyond, like, okay, I'm going to tweak it this way. Does it work for you there? No? Okay, let's try it again. Let's try something else. No. Let's try something else. No. Okay, now the teacher's like, okay, hold up. Is it that you really don't understand, or is it that you try not to understand?
Nah, I agree with that, but because I guess, okay, I'm speaking from personal experience, so I guess it's a bit biased. This year I had a teacher. I'm not going to say no names. I had a teacher. I was having an issue in the class, and no matter what I did, I was told that I was overthinking. When I was asking multiple questions. You probably know who I'm talking about. It's
probably.
But yeah, I was having an issue, and he's like, "You're overthinking." You're overthinking. And meanwhile, I'm actually trying to understand the class, and this isn't the first time I've been met with "you're overthinking" and "you're thinking too much about it." Me, I'm the kind of person where I need you to tell me why I have to do this. I won't lie. I came from a private school, right? Last 2 years, tremendous difference. My one of my math teachers, she was I haven't said, like, Miss Malucci, I love you. When I tell you, she described to me the ins and outs of algebra. I'm making it sound like it's like physics. She described it to me, and I passed that with a B. And I never really ever tried math, but with her, it was easy. She broke it down the steps for me because she understood. I'm gonna answer your question, and if you don't understand that, let me tell you the science as to why you have to do this and why you think like this.
Okay.
But again, I've never really been met with a teacher who's, and I don't have an IEP or nothing. I'm not mentally challenged, but
that's still up for debate, people. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
So you laugh like somebody. Oh my God! You laugh like somebody. Oh my God! Who does he laugh like?
Oh man! All right, no. I probably laugh like Joker, but still.
No, not Joker. You laugh like like I. Like, I'm trying to remember who you sound like. I'm gonna remember.
Oh man!
I remember. Your laugh's very unique. I love it. But back to the whole thing though. Yeah.
I'm unique. Thank you.
Welcome. You're a little quirky, you know. But I think these stage lights make them funny.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely a bias. But I don't, honestly, especially coming from, I think when it comes to schooling, there's definitely better leadership in the outside DOE. Way better leadership. Again, it depends on the kid. I didn't have such a good experience in either school, cause you think authority is bad here. Over there, you can't do nothing about it, even though you're paying like I was paying $12,000 a year. Keep in mind, right? And still to that day, they can make their own rules up. They can do whatever the hell they want because they outside the DOE. It don't matter what you do. Oh, you feel like you're getting targeted? We got no proof.
They don't care.
It's just crazy because it's like, yo, I'm telling you, this is like this admin talking crap about the students. Her? Nah, never that. Not old Miss. You know. Couldn't stand her.
Unfortunately, in different scenarios or different environments, there's different things that happen and
factors. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because you brought up the difference between private school and DOE.
Yeah.
You know,
Charter's different too.
Yeah,
it's all three different entities.
I'm gonna tell you right now, charter schools. I'm not for you or against you. But yeah, I'm not your biggest fan.
It's terrible.
Private schools,
not at all.
Listen, private schools, get it together. Get it together.
Word.
You're charging people for education that they could get the same type of education for free.
In a public
Word.
school,
People be getting bullied like
literally.
crazy, and y'all still don't do nothing.
Entitlements is way too much. And Department of Education, we love you guys. Yes, I work with you guys.
Oh, well, that's him.
But
he don't speak for all of us.
I'm not saying that I love everything. No, I'm not a hypocrite.
Like
but again, here's the thing. You know, our hands are tied to a certain degree. So it's unfortunate. Do I wish, when it comes down to education, everything takes funds, but then there's not enough spacing. We're overpopulated here in New York. You already know that. Overcrowding in the classes.
Yeah, we're a thankful city anyway.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. I wish it was less students in classes. I think it would be more effective.
How it is in private school.
More easier, more
Yeah.
definitely.
You have
to like focus.
Because teachers and educators are overwhelmed with the number of kids sometimes.
It's hard, yeah.
And it's like, okay, are we a public school for like K to high school, or are we professors in a university that get all these funds and could do all these things? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a hit and miss when it comes down to it. But when it comes down to the leaderships, there's a lot of leaderships inside the school systems. It's just unfortunate that a lot of those leaders are not getting a lot of shine. What are your leadership skills?
Care to answer? You know, you need that music that goes.
Don't get nervous now.
Crickets. You want me to answer? What do you think? Leadership qualities. I won't lie. I'm a hella good motivator. I won't lie. Like I'll say that. Like I'm a great motivator.
Okay, how so?
If you tired, I'm gonna make you bust your butt more. Like that's just I'm gonna push you. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I think from my experience as like a kid who didn't get that much attention from people, and it was hard to do certain stuff, and I get looked down upon, and I didn't get attention from nobody, and people would count me out just for the way I looked. I think I kind of have that experience as to where when I see somebody who's struggling with something, I can tell them the right things and push with them. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in that spot with them before, so I'm like, I understand them completely. You know? So I think some of my leadership qualities would be empathy, because that's a huge thing. Empathy, experience, and you know, just the fact that it basically is.
What do you think you're good? What are your leadership skills? I was about to say squills, but that was crazy.
Squills. My leadership skills. I don't know. Like,
Okay.
But aren't you dance captain, whatever?
I wouldn't say I'm captain, but
you definitely have a leadership, right? You definitely have a leader role.
Yes.
How'd you get that though? How'd you get that to that point? Like, what did she see in you? Do you know?
Because I care.
There you go. You care. You have passion for it. That's a leadership quality, girl. Come on.
You have passion.
Like Mr. Diaz, he's very passionate about this.
Yes.
You know?
So you're passionate. What else? What else do you think you have?
Motivation.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I could be tired as hell, and I'll still keep going.
That passion.
Good. That little oomph. Yeah. Gotta get it going. Like
Exactly.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, leadership skills is very easy to determine what you have. Okay, because if you're a good listener, then you know how to give good feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you're a good leader in conversating. You said motivating, empathy. When you are passionate, when you are actually making sure that you are, like I said earlier, shared power.
Yeah.
Helping people, you have good leadership skills. Don't forget where you came from. That's the biggest thing that a lot of people tend to do. They forget where they come from and they don't know how to lead, or they're not willing to teach. If you're teachable, you're able to actually be more effective.
I agree.
Don't forget who you are. You get what I'm saying? And basically the last question is this: how does this translate to your life inside and outside of school?
How does leadership
Let's start with outside. How does it translate for you outside of school?
Yeah, where I'm talking too much, that's why he went to you. He's laughing because it's true.
You just been sitting here like
I know, she's
saying a whole bunch of stuff.
You over there looking cute, girl. You better talk.
the famous line of today is
Wait, you gotta match your lashes.
but no, outside of school.
Leadership outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you're doing. Like, you keep yourself together.
Okay. Dive deep more into that.
Word, man.
Give me examples.
Give some substance.
How do I explain it? Like, you have yourself together. You know what you're doing. Like, you're passionate. Like, you got yourself together.
Okay.
It's understandable.
I don't know how, like, more to explain that. Like, yeah, I just really don't know how more to explain that.
Okay. No, that's fine. And we already established how you establish your leadership role here in school. So, very important. What about you? What is your leadership? How does it translate outside of school?
Pushes me to be I got a southern accent, sorry. It pushes me to be a better person overall. Like, I don't have butt stuff.
Okay.
I can't say the other one, but yeah, I don't have butt stuff. And it honestly, like, being organized, like what Brianna said, it definitely does help every aspect of your life. Like, I know me personally, I'm doing something after high school, like, and I know what I'm gonna do. And to do that thing, it takes a lot of determination, motivation to even get to that point where you're gonna succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think honestly, the whole leadership thing, it helps me because I have that leadership quality in me where it helps me, and I can push myself when I'm like feeling down because I don't have nobody else around me. So it's like, okay, you got no one's gonna wipe your butt for you. You got
yourself.
Word, you know what I'm saying? Like, brush off yourself.
Awesome. So for me, leadership outside of school, there's a couple of things that I run, a couple of things that I do outside. If there's one thing, Mr. Diaz is a busy man. I do a lot of
Word.
Sorry,
I disagree. That's constantly
But there's a lot of things that I do. But it's just being organized, having yourself together. I understand what you're saying. Because if you don't have yourself together, if you don't have your responsibilities in order, if you're not taking life serious, when I say life serious, because you're supposed to enjoy life, but there's other responsibilities that you have to make.
There's a time and place for everything.
Exactly. And for me, the biggest thing that I have is when I go home and I like to decompress first, and then I'm back at it again. Whatever somebody needs me, something's going on, I'm there. But the first thing I have to do is I have to make sure, in order to be a good leader, that I take time for myself.
Yeah.
If I don't take time for myself, then I'm going to be useless to everybody else. You get what I'm saying? So
you mentioned that before about relaxing because you don't decompress, you get overwhelmed, you get burnt out, you can't do nothing after. It's just good.
And that's the number one thing that a lot of leaders suffer from, and they don't want to admit it sometimes. Burnout. And we got to make sure that we take care of ourselves. If we don't, you're going to be ineffective to your team, everybody that looks to you to guide them and help them out, and they expect you to have the answers. Yes, we may not have the answers all the time. However, we do need to take care of ourselves, and if we don't, we're ineffective. So it's very important that we do that. It's very important that we make sure that we are good leaders and actually follow the advice that we give others.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that you could give a million advices, but if you
don't take it yourself,
what the hell are you doing?
What's the point?
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's no point.
You damn hypocrite. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Yo, he laughs like that. You know that TikTok audio? You know what I'm talking about? You that TikTok.
Oh man! All right.
I gotta show it
So
to you after.
that's the
inside part.
conclusion of
Yeah,
episode number 3. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Next week we're gonna have a couple of more new speakers, and we are gonna be talking about the art of overcoming. That is the topic. So stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let everybody know. Share it with everybody.
Just want to show some artistic artwork. Very abstract. It's abstract artwork
Abstract.
from my friend Jefferson Garcia.
Ooh.
He made this himself.
Shout out to Jefferson.
He's
How
very
cute.
talented. He got autographed. You guys should buy it when he's famous.
There you go.
You know, shout out to him.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.